overseas. They get picked apart by the tier 1 European AWPers, and they make a lot of mistakes. They overpeak. They don't have the right utility in the right places, and that's something that Zacko can definitely abuse Bromo here on. But it all starts here on Ancient. I think this is Bromo's, you know, comfort map. This is a map that they're going to give their best crack here if they're going to have a chance here to try to get themselves a Pro League spot, to try to push it a little bit deeper, cause a pretty big upset against Lynn Vision Gaming, who are looking a little shaky at the moment. I'd agree with what you said. I don't think I'm sold on a Fufu. Don't think I ever have been. As far as I'm concerned, I would like to see a different player in the roster. Flying, I think, is underutilized or misutilized in this team. Like, sometimes he has fantastic halves. Sometimes it's completely missing, and I don't know if that's a structure issue, but, you know, Gum has been with Lynn Vision for quite a while, and the core 3 is still pretty good as far as I'm concerned. But if you're not getting the best out of Flying, especially in a team where you previously had a star rifler in Starry, you know, I just don't understand how that's not working out. Like, I haven't watched their game closely enough to really, like, come to an opinion on that. But if I was the coach of Lynn Vision, as far as I'm concerned, you just plug and play Flying in all of Starry's positions, and you call it a day, right?
All right, well, it looks like maybe we might have to wait a little bit longer for the game to start. That is the nature of the beast sometimes when it comes to these live events. But, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting conversation around the changes to Lynn Vision, because when you're sort of talking about it, we're sort of looking for a star rifler, a star AWPer in a sense, because that's where I think a lot of the firepower did come from for Lynn Vision. And you did sort of see, you know, Westmelon as a fragging AGL, he had some success, definitely. You know, he was able to sort of pull a decent game out of his hat every few games, and Amelia has, you know, one in every 3 or 4 games, a pretty decent game. But it's more a case of, okay, who's going to be that guy that's like pretty much always pushing us forward? You know, who's going to be able to consistently lock it down? And I don't know if we've necessarily found that in the rifling department yet for Lynn Vision. What's going on here? This is Advent. He's a fan of Advent, just like me. Everyone's a fan of Advent, apparently. That's the many faces of Advent. Yeah. There's Advent as well.
Wow.
They're all Advent fans.
Have they... look, I'm not even going to go there. I was going to say, have they seen him play? But look, you know, he's done some good stuff. He's been the one of the best, most successful, some might say, players in China. We'll put it that way.
I wonder if he's streaming it. He probably is going to be streaming it, I'd imagine. I know he, like, Advent in particular, he transitioned to content of some sort. He had a YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel that he was posting on a little bit. I haven't seen anything from that one in the last couple of months. But, yeah, interesting to sort of see what he's going to be up to in the post-playing era, the post-playing world.
I got an idea.
Okay.
Coach Tyloo.
Yep, that could be an option.
Hopefully.
Who is coaching Tyloo right now? It's still Cammy. Yeah,
got to be Cammy. Surely.
Cammy and Zoking, right? Yeah, it is.
I don't have a problem with Cammy. I think Cammy's solid, but I reckon chuck Advent in there as well. Get both of them. Why not?
I mean, yeah, I guess that's an option, but when you consider that he was removed from that team, probably the the relationship between him and maybe Jam Young, Mosey, and Mercury in particular might not be amazing, would be my guess.
Yeah, or he just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, who knows, really? I mean, there's plenty of options, I'm sure, available to him, and maybe even just moving away from esports in general is something that he wants to do as maybe. Well.
He's been around the block for a long time, so that makes sense. Got into a bit of a tech pause here. I think for Bromo, this is a bit of an audition tape for some of these players, really. I don't know what the context is of this team. Like, how seriously do they play? You know, I've been playing ECL for a number of seasons now, grinding it out. Some of these players do have some experience playing some Chinese teams. Yeah, there you go. Majors coming up in China here. So already you can see CS fans are coming in thick and fast to watch a game like this on LAN, and we're going to get into it. Here we go, Lynn Vision versus Bromo. It is a elimination game in the lower bracket final here to kick us off. whoever does win this game will go through to play for a spot in EPL, and whoever loses this game will be eliminated already. Pace into middle, and Rage going to open us up with a kill into Red Room. That's going to really start applying a lot of pressure into the middle of the map.
Quick rotation though coming across from Lynn Vision, but being cut down. Sai gets himself at least one. Saka and Flying are able to respond in some cases, but it is still looking a little bit worse for Where. Flying needs to hold on these frags. He's still got 5 bullets left in the chamber. Backing his way up, and a Fufu locking Bromo into this push toward the B-bomb site, which does leave Flying with a bit of a job to do, but he does it nicely. It started awkward for Lynn Vision, but it was well handled, in particular by Flying. 4 kills on that USP, and as you sort of highlighted, you know, someone that coming into this roster maybe does need to have some sort of success, and that is a good way to start.
I'm surprised he hasn't had so much success. Like, he's going finally into a star team in China, like a top team in China, from multiple kind of third rung, fourth rung teams kicking around in the dregs, and he just really hasn't necessarily hit the level that I think that his ceiling could provide. Here is some pace straight up into the B site here for Bromo. It's just a Glock eco pressure from the middle of the map for Amelia. Just thinning down the numbers. Zai just going to try to go for a suicide plan here, and he will get it. As a lot of these Bromo players getting tickled up by the MP9s, by the Pappuses, but picked apart pretty convincingly. No kills for Bromo, but a lot of util having to be burned for Lynn Vision. And the plant for Bromo is going to be very, very needed here, because they're going to be wanting to go into round number 3 with full lots of util and start to try to cut down the buy here of Lynn Vision, or the economy rather.
Yeah, so I wonder what we're going to get out of this round for Lynn Vision, right? When you've got 3 MP9s, you know, this is something of a bonus round for Lynn Vision, obviously having to reinvest into the util that you spoke of, but maybe some kind of a quicker play, a little bit of a fist bump there from the coach. Don't think that was a pause. That was just a, yeah, we're just going back to cameras to have a look at what's happening. But, you know, what's the call here going to be from Lynn Vision? I'm going to send these 3 MP9s aggressively somewhere, and already you've got 4 players over towards B, so that does tell me they're going to get up to something.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fire across cave and actually pushing straight down into shelf, trying to catch Bromo in a little bit of a default, or maybe setting up for a B execute, which is something they did a lot in the regular season. But as Bromo sees all that utility pressure and the push down onto shelf, they're just going to pick up the pace and take this A site nice and quickly here. Do have a lot of rifles in play from the team side, and some forward positioning as well, which Brashev leverages perfectly to get this opening kill.
Should be a nice and easy round from Bromo now. Retake's going to come through Temple. He has spotted out 3 players there, and you're going to still see Spine go for the retest. It works out. Does trade the frag down. Can't really imagine Lynn Vision are super keen on a retake here, but maybe if Amelia could have gotten one more there, it might have been on. Now, though, save the M4. In particular, save the M4, but Westmelon obviously taking this MP9 through as well. It's a good call, though, from Bromo, right? Like, the game that we're getting so far, these first 3 rounds, has been a pretty solid one. I'd like to see that. Both teams bringing their A game on the stage. And I do hope that we get some kind of a contest here from Bromo. You know, I don't want this to just be a complete whitewash. Unless, of course, you want to make the argument that it would be good to see Chinese teams at the Chinese major, in which case, Lynn Vision should absolutely run through everybody in this bracket, if that's your opinion, but I don't know that it's going to happen.
Even if they do, like, it doesn't mean anything, to be honest. Like, the level of this competition, and let's say Smash Tyloo, that's the only team I'm interested in them smashing, really. Even if they beat Atox playing with, like, subs and stand-ins and stuff, don't know if it really interests me that much compared to the level of DH or RMR they're going to need to hit to qualify. Like, what? There's 3 spots, so FlyQuest and Mongols. And then you got to be... I mean, I guess they could get the 3rd one, right? That's the one that's kind of up in the air. At the same time, though, it also comes down to whatever the bracket draw is. Like, at the end of the day, there could be an upset, especially with the major format a lot of the time, having some best of ones mixed in. There is a very realistic world where sometimes you can play, you know, Mongols, FlyQuest back-to-back or something like that if the bracket doesn't draw right for you, or if there's an upset, and then you're cooked.
A concern, potentially, but something to be worried about a little bit later on. Now Lynn Vision have been able to buy back in, of course. A little bit of a slower round out from them as a result, but nice kill from Amelia. Will catch Rage. So a change up from Envision, and Bromo now are the ones that kind of have to do some thinking.
Yeah, see what they're going to do in this 4-on-5. Going to be a little bit of util pressure towards Cave, but that just pushes Westmelon forward with the MP9. He's going to secure that kill onto Zai and even pick himself up an upgrade. Cave smoked off, that kill is not tradable. And things just go from bad to worse for Bromo. Not too many options for them in this round other than just kind of dry contact and hit some good shots into this B site. And we'll see what the setup's looking like for Lynn Vision. Westmelon quite low here. Untradeable by flying unless he comes a little closer.
No.
Jiggle was spotted by Spine there. Doesn't check it properly. Spine, that's a huge double entry that could change the course of this round now. Amelia trying to hold on for the back of the site, and he's instantly taken out by Fiorn. And there you go, 3-on-2. This is very doable now for Bromo, and Lynn Vision might even be considering a save from here.
Yeah, that's crazy that Lynn Vision would lose that round. I mean, great stuff from Spine, getting the 2 entries into Cave, but even having the ability to get rid of Amelia without him getting even a single kill there is kind of huge. He's on a bit of an off angle. You're not necessarily expecting him there, but good spacing from Bromo and good coverage as well, understanding the angles that are clear and not clear, you know, so you get a decent trade in there, and Bromo will be rewarded with another round. This one, not one that they necessarily should have won. This would have been a pretty clean one for Lynn Vision. Which...
No, I think it's just like lack of good spacing for Lynn Vision and crossfires on the CT side. Like, you look where they all died. One player close Cave, one player close enough to potentially swing, but not quite in position. Then the next duel comes in on the Cave entrance, and a third player in the back of the site, not quite in position to trade him. So you're giving Bromo, in a 3-on-5, multiple untradeable 1v1s. The first one here, Westmelon, that's a bit of a whiffage. Then Flying goes for the trade, but you already have a player posted on him. He goes down, and then the last player inside of the site not able to trade either. So Bromo winning 3 duels back-to-back is not something that should be allowed from that point in the round. Opening kill this time for Rage, who did go down to Amelia previously. That's going to put some pressure on the middle of the map, and Bromo, in the meanwhile, taking all of this A space, but they've lost a pick on the cross.
Yeah, Fufu's hearing all of that, and Zaka well prepared for it as a result. So Lynn Vision do retake that mid control in the meanwhile. They've completely given up B. Westmelon's even started to float across to Donut. But now Flying's going back.
Zai was kind of trending towards that B side, but he's going to meet up with the rest of the boys towards bottom middle. There's just not any utility to really work the map, though, is the problem. So they've got to just kind of get it done dry. 2 flashes and a molly, that's all they've got. Just going to make it very hard to get through middle here without, you know, some potential issues. The good news is Westmelon's only got an MP9 top middle.
Well, it's a little problematic as well for Lynn Vision that they just don't have any info right now. They've got really no idea where Bromo is. Westmelon now starting to gather that info as middle will be cleared out, but they've rotated players off of that A side, and it's where Bromo look like they want to end once again. They have taken Donut. Smoke in is a good one, but Bromo have got the time to wait, and they have got the time to play with. They're going to go back towards B. They're just playing a ring around Rosie with Lynn Vision, trying to pull them back and forth across the map. Luckily, Lynn Vision have left their anchor in Zaka over towards the B bomb site, and he should be getting one here. Falls off the line on the wrong time, but hits the collat anyway. And Flying gets across just in case anything was going to go down on the B bomb site. Brashev will obviously have no chance of winning this round now that the bomb has been dropped, but that's a very strange round, you know. It plays out in a way that it's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then there's a collat. It's like, okay.
It's just a lack of a strong calling presence on Bromo. Like, you see it all the time. These are the kind of rounds I talk about where they just look a little bit lost. They did not have a clear game plan of what to do in the mid to late round, and they end up just kind of running into basic lines without good utility, without good spacing. Just not a whole lot of afterthought of what to do in the mid to late round when things go wrong. And that's where a really good IGL and a lot of practice in scrims kind of, you know, drilling the same things. Like, if we end up in a 4-on-5, what does that go to? You know, like or if we have low util, like what kind of play do we go for? And you just kind of go for those same high percentage plays, but it just didn't really look like Bromo knew what they wanted to go for in the mid to late round there, and they end up just getting picked apart and looking like a bunch of, you know, chooks with their heads cut off.
Luckily for Bromo, they still have enough cash to scrounge something together. Going to be relying on some entries here, maybe from Rage, or gets a connection onto Flying, but it won't be the killing blow. They need to follow suit. Again, nothing too fancy just yet from Bromo. Trying to just force their way into map control.
Yeah, they're throwing this for aggression smoke into Cheetah, and as it fades, Zai is going to take this space. A little bit of pressure on B ramp. They're trying to thin the utility over towards this B site, which Lynn Vision are drip feeding out slowly but surely. A Molotov to try to create a little bit more pressure, force out a little bit more utility towards this B site. And this is something we saw Bromo do in the regular season, just slowly but surely continue to go towards one side. And Lynn Vision, they're set up quite heavily to try to defend this B hit when it definitely is going to come in at some point. This is just what Bromo do. They just wait around until they finally find a timing.
Spine has most definitely found something of a timing, but can he get past flying is the big question. Amelia, nade in hand. They both go down in the blink of an eye, and now it's on to West Melon, who's trying to lock down Cave. He might even be able to deny the bomb plan or even just catch Fjorn. He's tucked himself behind the box. Spine would not have spotted that one. He was in the smoke. So there's still a world back in here for Lynn Vision, but they need to get this kill onto Spine, and he has been hitting as hard as ever. And he continues to. Another one through the smoke there onto a Fufu. And that is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, with Westmelon going down. Cave control is lost. Zaka's going to go and save the AWP. And once again, Bromo have got themselves another round, and it's just, again, Lynn Vision seeming incapable of holding this B bomb site against the duels.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a pretty rando-sando play. Like, they're just walking through a B main smoke, dry walking with 2 or 3 players and just taking a timing. You know, it's those kind of, going back to those kind of pug strats that Bromo like to throw in sometimes. But at the same time, it's like I said before, like, there has to be a level of preparation for Lynn Vision. They are the more experienced, the better team with a coach that should be giving them prep, should be giving them a game plan. So not having some kind of contact setup where someone's actually holding the line and there's some kind of piece of reactive utility or peek off of that as they come up into the B site is really not doing Lynn Vision very many favors. Like, they're not having good enough responses to just Bromo doing very, very basic kind of CS gameplay, you know, just contact play up B ramp. There's the boost on the alt rage, gonna go for the repeat, but punished by Zaka. HE nade pegged down the bottom of B ramp, doesn't connect with too much. And once again, Bromo's just slowly but surely working towards the same spot, sitting back towards spawn side. They're going and re-clearing spawn. They've lost that map control, and Amelia does a lot of damage to Brashif. If he had anything but a 5-7, that's a kill. It's just a save here for Lynn Vision around the AWP, and I think a saved rifle as well. So nothing to get too carried away with or concerned about that Lynn Vision is conceding this, but at the same time, what I'm more concerned with is that last round, the inability to deal with just a dry B ramp contact, as well as the 3-on-5 that Lynn Vision lost. Like, these are rounds that, if you lose these kind of rounds, you might end up losing this series against Bromo. Like, this is the only way these guys get rounds. They're not going to, you know, destroy you with tactical brilliance or anything like that. It is just, you know, a one-man fake on A and a B ramp contact. Like, it's that simple.
I mean, Dust2 next as well. Like, even Anubis, you know, these are all kind of maps that you can make this sort of playstyle work for Bromo. And we've even seen it from them in the past on Dust2. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, you know, like, let's be real. It's only seven rounds in. Yeah, it's not looking too fantastic for Lynn Vision. A little bit shaky here and there, but how long can Bromo keep getting away with this? And can they continue to do that over the course of 2 maps and actually win both of those maps? Well, that's, you know, maybe an easier thing to say than to do. Zaka holding for the push up the ramp, missing his shot. Flying's going to go down, and if they can't hold on to this B bomb site and they can't win their duels, I mean, Bromo's just going to keep doing it, and it's going to keep working. Yeah, well, I don't know what we're going to be seeing as far as Lynn Vision's timeouts are going to look like, but I'll be hoping for one soon. Sooner rather than later. Afufu might just get away with this gun. Doesn't look like we're getting a timeout. just yet.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to figure out a way to deal with these, like, just contact plays. Like, that's just a flash and a molly into B. Zai hits a double entry. It's pretty simple gameplay on T-side Ancient here from Bromo, and Lynn Vision just does not really seem to have an answer to it. Like, they are going to take a timeout. And I honestly think, like, if I'm the coach of Lynn Vision here, this is a timeout just reaffirming, like, what I've already said to you, you know? Like, in the lead up to this game, yeah, these guys should know, like, Wes, Mellon, and Gum should basically be telling the boys, like, we know exactly how these guys play. It's going to be contact heavy. They're going to be just walking around the map, taking dry tools, and we need to be able to have setups to deal with that. You need to have an ult posted up on the line. In that case, it was Zaka not able to hit his shot, and then they hit the entry running up B ramp. So if you can't deal with this style as Lynn Vision that you know is coming, then you don't deserve to win this series. It's as simple as that. These are the exact kind of players that you need to deal with from a team like Bromo, because they don't have a lot of tactical depth behind it. It's hard executes and contact plays. In this case, it's going to be the hard execute onto A. It's a good way to run an anti-eco, really. Just all of this utility to minimize the risk, push out the pistols, and get yourself a nice comfortable afterplay.
I mean, either way, you've got 6 rounds on the T side here, and you could go for more in the first half. Got to keep putting that pressure on, I think. Vision, definitely the kind of team that can come back strong on a second map as well. So even if you do get this over the line, I think the conversation will still be probably pretty favorable towards Lynn Vision, even if they're not playing super well. We're going to be backing them. But, you know, it's good to see, right? Like, you want to be seeing new blood coming into Asian CS and being competitive, and what better way to do it than to make your way through a very, very long league stage in ESL Challenge League, and then get to LAN, and then put Lynn Vision to the sword. I mean, this is, in theory, one of the top teams in Asia. You know, they are starting to slip down the rankings a little bit, but they're still going to the Asia RMR. They're still a very experienced squad, so if you're able to put together a pretty good display on LAN, I think you take that if you're Bromo.
Yeah. And I mean, at what point, you know, we're not even close to being there yet, but at some point you're going to start to get concerned that they are potentially going to lose this spot. Just a dry peek to middle from Rage to pick up Amelia. Nice opening pick for Bromo here. This T side just continues to go swimmingly. Gonna just halt things in the mid round, wait for Lynn Vision to make a mistake, try to make a play somewhere. Westmoreland still keeping control of Cheetah here. Spamming away, flying retake B. Like, this is not too inspiring of a 4-on-5 on the CT side. Starting to see some movement here. Fufu making his way deep in towards Donut. Zaka posting up on middle. Just some fire being exchanged back and forth on the B side. And I like this from Lynn Vision. They're just giving up middle or giving up A and stacking towards B. Like, these are the kind of plays you need to make to try to make it make up a man deficit here. I like aggression from Zaka too.
It's not quite going to work out. It'll be pushed away by the Molotov into another Molotov. Bromo doing a great job of reading what Lynn Vision might be up to. Slowing it back down again. They've got another set of util to play with if they do inevitably want to toss that into anywhere. It's going to be in towards middle that Bromo will go. Molly out the cutout. Smoking towards middle, flash into Donut, and off you go into A. Pretty straightforward stuff from Bromo, and continuing to have a lot of success on this T side.
I mean, this is a great round, actually. The pick onto top middle, and then they wait for that aggression for a good 20, 30 seconds, a good util set just to be able to deny any chance of going for a pick onto cave side. You've got multiple players running through 2 different Molotovs. Pick punished in cave, and Bromo know that if you're going aggressive on one map, it's because the numbers are there. They're just going to call the audible, go back towards middle and A. Like a beautifully constructed round. Rage continuing to hit shots. I can't believe Fufu's alive when he's copped 2 AWP bullets already. And you just see Lynn Vision trying to hold on to these last couple of rifles, saving over towards T spawn side. But Spider's over there. So is Rage. 4 guns being taken away from the T side. Not that they care. They've got plenty of money. But more so Lynn Vision keeping their hands on their guns so that it can continue to string CT side gun rounds to get the 3.4 loss bonus. So drops will come through. But already 7 and 5 for Bromo. These guys are just brimming with confidence right now.
Well, we'll see if Lynn Vision can, again, weather the storm. And try and take that mid control, and they have managed, at least in this case, to do so. Not necessarily, though, as a result of any kind of a fight that's happening. Bromo all interested in B once again. Westmelon this time, a bit of a spam through the smoke. Will get Zai, but Spine's going to do exactly what Spine's going to do, and be walk straight through a smoke. This time, it doesn't work out for Bromo, but why not send another guy? Miami's in there now. He's having a crack, and he's taken out Zaka. He might even get himself another one. He knows he's got this player stuck in the corner, and the pre-fire around the corner will be the end of flying. Westmelon can't find the trade just yet, but a Fufu will. Still, you know, it's not the worst thing for Bromo. They're bringing Lynn Vision down to their level, and look at all of the space that Brashaf has got.
Yeah, he's already taken all of Spawn, all of this A site, so that's called the Audible Rage back across towards A. He's still going to take a good 15 seconds to get his boots on the ground in the site. A man advantage situation for Lynn Vision, and they can start to get a little bit curious. They are sending Amelia up shelf, trying to clear all of this space, figure out what's going on, but Lynn Vision can't afford to give these free duels away. They've got a lot of utility to be able to try to re-clear some of this space, and actually do have site forfeited, oh sorry, spawn control forfeited by Brashov just to be able to try to set up range for the plant. There's the lineup for him though. Another man advantage situation falling apart for Lynn Vision. They just cannot convert these rounds here. Amelia last alive in Donut, and that's a bit of a missed peak from Fiorn, if I'm honest. Puts Rage into quite a difficult one-on-one here. Smoke's starting to fade. Molly gonna flush out the big box. Process of elimination. As these cogs start to turn in, Amelia's heading. Got a kid to work with though, and the dry peek into Temple is going to reveal where Rage is, and he's gonna have time to get on the bomb as well. Amelia saving Lynn Vision from losing another man advantage situation.
Yeah, I mean they've got one more at least, but it was a very near miss. This was great from Miami. I mean, I love the commitment from Bromo.
Why did Lynn Vision look so scared there though? Like he's just dry peeking multiple players, and no one's like trading him. No one's peeking out to deal with
they're
it.
getting owned.
They're all just like jiggling and like not committing to fights. They're playing like they're the underdogs in this matchup right now.
Well, I know what you're saying, but I think it's kind of just how it be right now. Bromo are the ones that are playing with confidence. I mean, like I said, that I love the confidence from Bromo to just kind of commit to their playstyle, right? Like, you send the first guy through the smoke, okay. It's like, why don't we just send another one? First guy didn't work, let's send another one. Just keep going, you know? And it's working out.
For Bromo in the early round. Amelia's going to hit the deck. Mid-control's been taken. Big rotations in here from Lynn Vision to try to deal with this A-split here, Jordan. But a great shot from Zaka.
Yeah, gets himself the second one in there as well. And Rage for the double will bring it back into control for Bromo. They are going to be able to get a bomb plant here, but inside of that smoke, very low on HP. The MP9, no spam to try to deny. Trying to find the timing, will get it. Zai goes down. We still haven't found Rage, and Brashov on a big old flank could be the X factor in this round that is going to put it to bed. And that is exactly what should occur and does. Good trade from Rage. It is 8-4 at the end of the first half. (8-4) for Bromo is maybe not the scoreline that you would have expected coming into this game, but they did a very good job on their T side. And now it's time to see if Lynn Vision can match that pace. We've got a 3-player stack on B already from Bromo, which is not a bad shout, because that looks like exactly where Lynn Vision is going to head.
It looked like they're thinking about aggressing down B ramp on the timing, and in fact they're trying to just split up this execute before it gets going. Flash down B ramp sets up Rage for success, but meanwhile back on the site, Lynn Vision are starting to break through and backstab Rage. Westmelon's going to keep him in check, and that's a great site hit from Lynn Vision.
Yeah, Miami and Zai to try and recover this pistol, but a 2v4, difficult task unless Miami just says, how about a 2-on-2 instead? Flying and Westmelon playing very, very far back now as well. You can get on that defuse if you're Zai right here. The difficulty is they don't have a kit, and there's a Molotov over the top. So that'll probably be the round 1 for Lynn Vision now. Zai would more or less have to sit the defuse now, and that's not going to be possible because there's another Molotov. It was all part of the plan for Lynn Vision. Zai does know, in theory, where Westmelon is. Should be aware of where those Molotovs do get thrown from traditionally, and eventually finds him, but it won't be enough to win the pistol.
Good start from Lynn Vision. Despite the B ramp aggression from Bromo, they dealt with it very well, and were able to just break through on the site itself, backstab Rage, got themselves into an after plant, which they practiced and set up multiple times, it looks like. Nice open plant on pillar side, and then cycling out the Molotovs from bottom side of B ramp there. So pistol success here on the T side, and looks like, as always, first day LAN issues do have a dropout from Fionn, so we're going to take a bit of a tech pause, get whatever that is sorted out before we head back into things.
Get it all sorted. Yeah, it is a LAN, by the way, for those of you that are tuning in. I think that's something that it's worth reiterating, because we don't get too many of those within Asia, but well, a little bit of, I guess, investment from ESL in that regard. We had the IEM Chengdu qualifier last year, which was a LAN qualifier final for top 4 teams, and here we have again the ESL Challenger League final, so it's kind of cool to see. You've got a couple of other bits and bobs popping up in Asia as well now. We've spoken a fair bit about the Messer events, the Nomadic Masters that they tend to put up. It's only been maybe one a year, but that's still something. And Extreme Sound is coming back as well in January, so a bit of a conversation point there. And we've seen the likes of Sky Esports doing, a little bit, but I feel like they're kind of angling a little bit more towards the international crowd than the Asia crowd in particular. But it's kind of cool to see that, there is at least some semblance of a scene kind of developing in a way, which it didn't really feel like to me at one point would ever really happen again. So still got that positive vibe when it comes to Asia CS, but we'll see how 2025 impacts all of that.
Yeah, definitely going to be a couple of moving parts to consider. See what tournaments kind of pop up for some of these teams to be playing. But yeah, it looks like the Chinese crowd getting around it a little bit, which was the same thing as the Chengdu qualifier on LAN. And yeah, I think, there must be some kind of partner organizer over there in China putting on these LANs and things like that ESL can, partner with.
Yeah.
And sort this kind of thing out, which is always cool because, it's the kind of thing that's happened in the past in other regions as well. Get some local lands going.
Advent 259. Advent. They call him 259. Did you know that in China? I think his name's 259.
I did not know that.
I'm not sure what exactly it means. Maybe it's his KD after the first half.
2 kills, 5 assists, 9 deaths.
Maybe. The KAD, not the KDA. Possible. Wait. Don't punch your Bromo!
Just trying to get the boys hyped up,
Get them fired up.
Yeah. Looking pretty serious here is Lynn Vision. They should be feeling somewhat comfortable winning that T-side pistol. I think the first half was a bit of a nightmare for them, I'm not going to lie. Didn't really feel like, despite the fact they should have been ready for all of that they could deal with what Bromo was throwing at them. But we should get back into things here, and Lynn Vision should get some good momentum from that pistol. Should only be a minute or two, as we're just restarting the game for Fjorn, as far as I know, aka Brashov, aka Dog Lover 96, whatever other alias he likes to use next Wednesday.
I like getting the crowd shots. I like to see what's going on there. Who's that? Is that Blitz? I think that might have been Blitz in the bottom right there. It's kind of hard to see. But it's good that there's a little bit of a turnout there as far as the crowd is concerned. Been to Shanghai for a CS event once earlier on in the year, and we had a pretty decent turnout there as well. I suppose it's kind of hard not to have some degree of a turnout in a city which has a population of like 30 million people or something like that. So that does definitely help, but it obviously puts you in a good position going into the Shanghai major to expect at least some kind of presence there. See if we get a good shot of the trophy here, because the last couple of times it's cut away from it. It's a pretty interesting trophy. Just says Challenger League in all of those circles, I think.
Yeah.
Dan King is better than Zaiwu. There you go.
Yeah, better streamer maybe.
I could definitely say that would be the case. I reckon Dan King is probably watching this right
better
now.
Hair maybe?
That's up for debate.
Really? I feel like Dan King has got pretty cool hair.
Sometimes. I'm not necessarily a fan of the red that he had at one point.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a bit much. Alright, let's see if I'm gonna see if I can find his stream and see if he's watching.
What are you going through? What's the platform these days? We're on the DUs or the QQs?
This is the Huya.
Huya, we're on the Huya today.
Doesn't look like he's live on Huya, but I don't know if maybe that means he's on something else. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, there's so many of these platforms to watch the streams on that you could be live on anything or all of them at once.
Yeah, you're telling me, bro. It's a bloody nightmare boot camping in Shanghai and sometimes not having a VPN working and this and that. So, yeah, I think that was our favorite admin there for a moment.
Was it?
I think I recognize the tats. Pretty sure.
Well, I don't know if you've got the sneaky intel, but I've got the sneaky intel that our favorite admin is there. So you might be on the money.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. I didn't know she spoke Chinese. That's amazing. I guess she took the phrase "get ready to learn Chinese" seriously.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 ESL Challenger League circles.
Nice. One for the coach.
It's an interesting trophy. I've not seen one like that before.
Yeah, trophies are a bit hit and miss in esports. They went a different direction, and I respect that.
I don't hate this one. I think this one's fine. There's been some shockers in the past. I agree.
Hey, if it stays together when you pick it up, that's a win.
That's true. They don't always do that. Well, guys, as you can see, the ETA is unknown. So, unless you guys want to keep watching footage of the fans in China, maybe we should go to a bit of a break. So, don't go too far away. Hopefully, this will be sorted out soon. We'll be right back. Rightio, welcome back to Ancient. It is the second half right now between Lynn Vision and Bromo. Just to catch you back up to speed, Lynn Vision did win the second half pistol. So we're getting into round 2 of half number 2. And it's where Lynn Vision are going to try to salvage their map somewhat.
Yeah, just kick us off with an eco. Keep things nice and clean. The map, kind of feeling things out, seeing where Bromo reside. As we can see, they are stacked up towards this A side, so in goes the money man of Amelia. No CT close enough to trade, so he's actually kind of gotten away with that one. Miami seeing if he can hunt him down. Amelia spotting out that player is just going to drop the smoke behind him, and Lynn Vision in the meanwhile have cleaned out all of that B side, so they're going to take the bomb over there. It's good information gathering from Amelia. Just process of elimination, clearing out the map. And should be a good start to this T side for Lynn Vision, which is what they need.
Yep. Yeah, gonna need more than just a good start though. I mean, Bromo were kind of manhandling Lynn Vision a little bit in that first half, I would say. I mean, the KD doesn't look like that crazy. It doesn't really seem like it's that out there necessarily, but you have to remember there was a few instances of Lynn Vision players saving their guns. But Bromo definitely felt like they were getting the better of Lynn Vision in a lot of, dare I say, like, even unequal duels. That's a nice shot from, oh, it wasn't from Azaka. It was from Amelia. Either way, yeah, I mean, I feel like Bromo's kind of on at the moment, whereas Lynn Vision, it's taken them a little bit of time to get going. Maybe being on that T side, being the ones to kind of dictate when those fights actually happen a little bit more so will help them out here. Just have to wait and see as we roll on into the third round. It's going to be an obvious investment for Bromo.
Yeah, if they keep the Mac 10s, then they're definitely going to have a think about how they want to dictate those fights. Orbs come out for Rage, so already with a glass cannon against the Mac 10s could potentially be problematic, and 2 of them have been kept here by Lynn Vision. They're going to take attack timeout, which is also going to be a bit of a double-edged sword. It's going to give Bromo a chance to consider what kind of strat Lynn Vision might run with these Mac 10s, and also have a little bit of time to just anti-bonus, discuss what kind of setup they want to be running. They're going to have the utility as well, so particularly against these Act 10 buys where maybe you're going to face something a little bit more up-tempo, or Lynn Vision is going to go for some kind of hard execute. You need to be a little bit more clever and precise about how you use your utility and what setup you're running, particularly when you have a glass cannon AWP here, because Rage could get melted by a Mac 10 with one missed shot, and that could really just kind of dismantle things and probably lead to an early save here. So AWP's been taken over towards this A side. Do have a two-man setup on B, and it's just going to be a straight B execute here for Lynn Vision, getting straight into the site. What? Spam through the smoke from Fjorn. Two players hitting the deck already, and Lynn Vision, that B execute just gets dismantled by Fjorn. Huge 4K to put Bromo back on top here.
Yeah, getting straight into the site might have been a stretch of the imagination right there for you, Pilski. I think Lynn Vision were hoping that would be the case, but it certainly wasn't, not even close. So that is a pretty decisive start to the second half for Bromo. Their first gun round under their belt. 9-6. An uphill battle from here now for Lynn Vision. It was looking like they were going to come back into this second half and kind of start to put it together, but that definitely raises some questions that round.
Yeah, it was just a bonus though, but 3 rifles and not doing any economic damage is concerning to say the least. Lynn Vision working the map now. Losing a pick to Rage though. They didn't see the AWP in last round. They only ran into 2 rifles on the B site, so I don't really think they expected the glass cannon to have come out. And I think a bit more lackadaisically working the map, not using extra flashes on the donut line, not really shouldering properly, has lost them an opening pick. These first 2 gun rounds so far have been disastrous.
Maybe there's still a way that they can salvage it. Still got a little util to play with, and we're going to have a creep down ramp, which feels somewhat unnecessary for Bromo when they've got the 4-on-5. Brings it back to 4-on-4, and so Lynn Vision can rest a little bit easier now that they've got those numbers equalized.
Rotation coming across from Miami has to be concerned about the flank in through Red Room, as Lynn Vision worked a lot of mid-control. In comes the B execute though. Zai trying to set up Spine for a push into Cave, but there's a molly keeping him back. He's going to choose to play the close off angle, but the flash catches him perfectly.
It's just a disappointing round in the end for Bromo. Had the advantage. I don't know if the ramp push was necessary. And Lynn Vision setting themselves up for success here. They picked up a couple of AKs, a Khalil there as well for Westmelon, and Flying's got himself the M4. So at the end of this round, they kind of come away with a pretty decent setup. Bromo just going to save. And that sort of recovers the economy a little bit for Lynn Vision, where things were maybe starting to look a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, a bit more of a back and forth affair. Good recovery in the 4-on-5 for Lynn Vision. They know the AWP's in play now. Oh, Westmelon goes down as well. So 2 guns taken away by Bromo. Can get the drops on through though for Bromo. Plenty of money to be able to reinvest here. Starting to stack up the loss bonus a little bit as well. So even if this round doesn't go well with the 2.4 loss bonus, you've got a couple of players with 2+ K in the bank account. You could definitely do your due diligence here and kind of min-max the money to be able to put multiple buys in a row together against Lynn Vision here, who have reduced their loss bonus to nothing. Volley into middle. Smoke's missed on bottom middle, so that's going to actually give Lynn Vision a bit of a look into middle here. But in the meanwhile, Bromo is sending it straight down shelf, but that's where that missed smoke has bit them in the butt so badly. Losing 3 players right off the bat. That is terrible news for the CT side here.
Yeah, Lynn Vision getting right back into the swing of things as they continue to fight for control of this half. Spine's found himself a bit of a cheeky spot behind the smoke there. I don't know that he's been spotted, but Westmelon definitely keeping an eye on it. As this smoke fades, though, Spine's position becomes somewhat tenuous, so he's going to try and get ahead of that and push his way forward, but exactly what Westmelon is there for. Cleans him up. And it'll be just Rage holding on to the AWP for as long as he can. Amelia won't have much to say about that. I guess the information at least, and so Bomb Plan's going to go down on B.
Yeah, just the utility keeping him back. multiple layers of flashes and mollies to prevent the ult from even getting a look in, and a smoke is just going to seal the deal here for Lynn Vision. Rage will almost certainly save this, but they're even going to be able to buy around that. 2.4, only Spine and Miami will have good enough money to buy rifles. Rage can drop one, and maybe they can get like one MP9 or 5.7. So realistically, if they want to pursue a buy here, they could. At the same time, 3 rifles up for Lynn Vision, building up a little bit of cash. I could see you go either way, to be honest. I could see the force around the AWP. I could also see just pistols around the AWP and just min-max the money over time. That would let Lynn Vision a little bit more into the game, though. Oh dear. Forget about it. AWP's been lost to the bomb. Not quite calculating the radius. That's going to be quite tilting, actually, for the CT side here.
Gonna have a pause to have a chat about it. Money's in a very awkward spot here for the CT side. Zai and Fjorn under 3k. Starting to look like Lynn Vision are going to get through this map. It's been a bit back and forth. It's been difficult for them, but they're setting things up for a close map win. Economically, Bromo have some pretty important decisions to make over the next 2 or 3 rounds. It's going to be a little bit of a half buy in this one. Spine with the MP9 armor and everybody else with a upgraded pistol here and there and some, you know, some util, but nothing really too exciting for Bromo. Still going to have that standard 3-2 split, but this time more aggression over towards the A side of the map rather than B. And there's nothing standard about this round anymore, with Bromo pushing through A long.
Yeah. Trying to catch a timing. See if Amelia's able to keep them in check, playing these off angles. Ooh. Oh my god, what a shot from Rage. That really complicates things now. There's a smoke topside of B ramp. They're trying to pick up the pace into B, but there's multiple smokes keeping them at bay, making it quite difficult for them to cleanly get into this side. They're trying to blow it open. Brasher in a perfect position with the 5-7 to dismantle this one for Lynn Vision, and now the rest of the CTs are flooding in through cave, through B ramp. Lynn Vision starting tooth and nail to keep this one alive, though.
Yeah, it's very important for Zaka to get those 2 kills on ramp, not to mention the fact that he was holding on to the bomb of Fufu. Can't knock down the cave angle. It does come down to Zaka, and he's not aware of the player behind him, who has instead spotted him out. Timing might just favor Zaka here if he gets around the corner in time, and Zai starts to try and clear out the B side instead. He has heard Zaka on the rotate, but in the worst case, this is going to be a bomb plant for Lynn Vision, and now it comes down to where Zaka anticipates Zai coming from. Hasn't heard him.
Take his time here. He's got a kit to play with.
Yeah, if he would have gone the temple angle, he would have won, because Zaka's not interested in that one at all. But now he's made a footstep, and that's a little bit too easy for Zaka in the end. Zai, as you said, had so much time available to him, but just decides to sit the bomb there, and not the right choice in this case.
Still very expensive round for Lynn Vision, though. Losing 4 guns in that one when Bromo had kind of a minimal investment in that round is a really good result for the CT side over time here. So this game very much still hanging in the balance, 9 apiece. 1400 loss bonus for Lynn Vision. Zaka, the only one with any real substantial money to avoid economic reset here. So this could be a huge swing round for Bromo to be picking up. They're maxing out their own loss bonus on the CT side. Can really try to put pressure on Lynn Vision and swing these gun rounds back, and if they do sooner rather than later, they're going to start to front run this game. A little bit of pressure in towards middle here from Lynn Vision. A lot of util expended. Bromo trying to once again push in the early round. A flash down B ramp, and they're going to smoke off spawn side. Lynn Vision smoking off red room themselves and gearing up for an A split, but Rage is posted up in here in Donut, and unless Westmelon has a great flash timing in towards Donut here, which he does push Rage off the angle. This could be an issue. Molly does flush him out. Rage now under a little bit of pressure, but backed up well by Zai. What a spray down!
Oh, that's just a mishap from Lynn Vision, and now it needs to be salvaged. There's no way they can get this one done. It's just hard to watch sometimes, you know. You've got 3 players there. A bit of an overextension from the first with a grenade in hand, right? And yeah, Bromo actually able to turn what looks like a really awkward situation into fantastic stuff. And Lynn Vision, that was the round that could have potentially won them the game. I mean, they break Bromo's economy right there. They go up 11-9. It's like, we're off to the races at that point. But again, they're going to have to continue fighting.
Though. Like, I don't think they could really... It's going to be very hard for them to break the CT side economy. For their economy, though, they couldn't afford to lose that one. You can see it here. Like, they had the 1,400 loss bonus. So Fufu's broke. Westmelon's broke. Like, they're both double eco. 3.1, 2.4 for flying. That's not the kind of money you want to be buying with. So Zaka's thinking... Maybe I hero rifle or I drop some pistols. But outside of that, that was a hard reset round for Lynn Vision. Bromo, look at their money. 5 alive through that, 2+ on all of these guys. Now they go into an anti-eco where if they don't take too much damage here, they're going to have a 6 CT side economy to try to close out this game of Ancient. And some of these rounds just feel too easy for Bromo, you know?
Yeah, I agree. The Vision are not making this series very easy for themselves. Quite going to land that initial shot, but it doesn't seem to have caused too many issues because Zai's doing a good enough job from behind the boxes, and eventually Rage is going to calibrate his aim. Not with the USP, but while you lose a couple of guns there, as the CT side, it's still an important round on the board. 11-9 scoreline now, and money building up nicely for Bromo. Uphill battle is getting bigger and bigger for Lynn Vision.
Yeah, Fufu still doesn't have money even after that save. He's down to a Mach 10 in round 21 here. Util's a little bit more limited. Lacking a couple of flashes here and there. Could be problematic. Dealing with this ult. Smokes exchanged in middle. Seems like Zaka wanting to set up Lynn Vision to take middle after this initial Molotov. Amelia just edging it around the smoke. Here is that mid take. Oh, although they're not even going to burn the flash because Amelia feels like he's got space here. There's that flash down the bottom of B ramp, which Bromo has used a couple of times to actually go on the aggression. Rage creeping out on the line here. Here's the smoke towards top middle. Playing anti-flash inside of the donut smoke. I think maybe asking for a flash from someone else, but there wasn't really anyone in position to actually make it work there. There's a high-low inside cave. Smoke to B ramp. It's continually slowing down Lynn Vision here. Who are turning this into a bit of a 1-4. Maybe a B execute on the cards with Amelia on the lurk through red room might be the approach.
Here we go. Lynn Vision. Smoke for short. Oh, smoke for long as well. And a molly onto the side. So pretty standard stuff for the beat take. It is going to keep those two guys locked into cave. Wisely, Afufu not going to peek, but Zai turning around. Spine cleaning up the recontest from Afufu. This is looking fantastic from Bromo. The B hold has gone phenomenally. And only Zach are able to strike, but easily traded. He was low HP. Spine will clean that one up. I mean, the intention or the idea was there from Lynn Vision, but the execution was not, and that has been, I think, the real story of Ancient.
Yeah, they're just not winning duels. Like, they're getting out aim dueled by Bromo. Bromo, like, credit where credit's due. There's some pretty nice ideas on some of these timings. I like using the conditioning of that B ramp aggression previously, and then that round not actually pulling the trigger on it. They've had some pretty solid looking setups, but I think more often than not, they're winning a lot of the important duels, and some of these individual players, in fact, all of these guys in the server are fragging right now for Bromo. And Lynn Vision, backs against the wall here. Tech 9 and Armor going to try to go for this A execute as a bit of a Hail Mary.
Zai missing a couple of early shots, might open the door up, and Miami was flashed. There was a chance there for Lynn Vision. It hasn't been grasped onto with both hands as both the CTs dive into the smoke to try to survive. This is an absolute mess of a round. Flying gets in behind Zai. It's a 2-on-2 now. Westmelon on his lurk through the smoke. They've got no idea where the T's are coming from. Westmelon won't hit that last final shot, or well, he did, but it wasn't enough. 5 HP for Spine. Gets Bromo their 13th round, and they take map 1 against Lynn Vision on land.
Yeah. So continuing their pretty solid form from the regular season, I would say looking even a little bit more well-drilled, well-organized here on land. The players look motivated and sharp in the server. And Lynn Vision, as we've talked about, rolling them. They looked pretty decisively like the much better team on Ancient as far as I'm concerned. And I think Lynn Vision are getting firepower diffed in the server a little bit, unfortunately. So they've got to try to rectify that. Hopefully they can do so going through onto Dust2. It's been a map that they picked time and time again, and they should be very, very comfortable on. So let's see if they can turn this series around, because this is an elimination series, and I think that losing to Bromo here would be a big issue. They're going to miss out to go through to Pro League after representing China over in Pro League multiple times. And Amelia doesn't want to let that happen. But unfortunately, he or a Fufu can't do anything about it because Fjorn is on one tonight.
Don't let him get another one right here. Westmelon down to 40 HP. Does eventually get the job done, but that's a great start for Bromo. And everything you're saying is on the money, Pilsky. I mean, this would be the worst possible lead into the Asia RMR for Lynn Vision if they would get knocked out right now by Bromo. So
it might be one of their worst results in a while as well, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a continued slide.
Not to take anything away from Bromo, of course. This is a team of talented Chinese players who have ground their way through multiple seasons of ECL. And although they're a bit inexperienced, a bit rough around the edges, they are here to play on land. And this is the kind of trajectory that, you know, maybe Lynn Vision is on a downward trajectory, but Bromo, this is the upward trajectory that you want to see from an up-and-coming team.
Well, let's just see if they can close out this pistol round first and maybe even close out this map. That would certainly be something to talk about then.
Creeping up the suicide wall here. Flying's got a smoke for the cross. Rage should take first contact. Spine has some supportive flashes that he can throw up over the site to be able to facilitate the retake. Side doesn't see anything in middle. How comes the smoke for the cross there? Getting spammed by the USPs, and it's got a little too deep. Like, honestly, you should be able to cover both sides of the elevator cross there. And they've lost a pick on the cross kind of needlessly. Flash goes in, but Bromo, before this bomb can even go down, are in position to be able to flood the site. 8 seconds on the clock. Sticker's hitting a couple of shots, but he needs to hit 2 more, and tapping it is not going to be good enough. Sai flooding in with a 2K, and Bromo continue their winning ways, taking the CT pistol.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit concerned. It's obviously still early days here on Dust2, so I'm not going to get too far out of it, but if Bromo can continue the, let's say, the momentum that they had from Ancient into this map, then I think that they might actually be a bit of a match for Lynn Vision today. Got an MP5 out from Miami, so that's something a little bit different. Zach has held on to a Scout. Has actually managed to do a little bit of chip damage with that one, but even now, I'm kind of looking at this round, I'm thinking, you know, you've invested a Scout here, you've invested a P250, but what's that really going to achieve? You know, are you expecting Zaka to get a lot of work done with his Scout?
They always buy it. Like, he always just legs people on the cross. And to be fair, he's done that again. He's got Miami on the cross here down to 57. He just buys scouts on Dust too, man. Like, he always does it. And then he'll buy another one in the next round. So he kind of feels like buying scout in back-to-back rounds is better than saving and then buying a rifle. And look, Lynn Vision are giving him time to cook. Let's see if Bro can cook.
I mean, I can...
Something spicy here.
I can kind of get behind the idea that the Scout is, like, unironically the best gun in the game if you hit every shot with it. You know, it's cheap. It's got 1 bullet headshot. You know,
he definitely hits every shot on the cross, but then it's at this point in the round that it's like, okay, well, what now, bro?
Indeed, that nade came through maybe 2-3 seconds too early. Otherwise, it would have been an absolute juicer. But here's where Brashov will actually need to be a little bit scared. Zaka's creeping his way around the corner there. Another nice little tag from him. Player and Goose. Rage has a lot of work to do here and gets his head knocked off by a Fufu. This is where it starts to fall apart a little bit for Bromo. They've allowed the bomb plant to go down. Amelia in middle will be at least cleaned up, but if Lynn Vision can find a way to actually sneak this round away or even just do a little bit more damage, then Bromo have a lot of work to do to get back into this first half. Zai goes down. Zaka does only get the one with the Scout, but he might have done enough damage to make this one doable. A Fufu and Westmelon, who's holding on to a Famus, get it done. And Lynn Vision have at least salvaged something out of that one. And I guess it just goes to show you can't count your chickens before they hatch, because a Scout and a P250 doesn't look like it's going to be a round-winning buy for Lynn Vision, but they make a lot out of nothing.
Yeah, because you said it yourself. He hit every shot. Like, literally, he hit, I think he fired 5 shots and hit 5 shots there, and half of them setting up the Glocks to be able to clean up the rest of what was left of Bromo, in combination with the FAMAS picked up by Westmelon. Taking duels with an AWP with pistols up middle of Dust2 is brave. Some might say stupid. You've copped the tag on the cross on Zai there. There's the progression smoked down bottom side of middle and a little bit of util onto Cat Molly to push these CTs back. Aggression into upper dark from Bromo. They've cleared out that part of the map. A centralized setup from the rest of the CTs. And Lynn Vision wants no part of it. Amelia seeing nothing on the long cross, and as such will go and take this space. But the longer that Lynn Vision takes working the map and making their way towards this A site, the closer that Brashev gets on the flank and the more heavily that this A site gets stacked.
Mm-hmm. Well, Envision are definitely going to slow it down, and you almost have to think maybe Brashev has to slow it down a little bit here as well if anyone's going to still be watching the bedroom doors. I don't think... Oh, I was going to say, I don't think anybody is, but in the end of Fufu and Zaka making short work of things. Fjorn in the kill feed there. That's Brashev. Did manage to find one. It's not going to be enough. Zaka is coming into his own with the scope in hand. He did it last round with the scout. Now he's doing it with the AWP. And this is why it's such a solid map for Lynn Vision, is because Zaka is on a bit of a tear at the moment.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. Hitting every shot with the AWP as well. Some really nice shots from Zaka. Was the standout last time that Lynn Vision went across to Pro League with a couple of question marks of his transition across to the AWP role. He's been the goods for the whole time for Lynn Vision and continues to just kind of be the star player of this team after just kind of being a role-playing rifler in the shadow maybe of Starry, G at times when he was playing good on the roster, and I think even, you know, then kind of getting it done by committee for the rest of the time. Kind of just part of a rifling core of solid players, you know, Westmelon and Amelia when they were feeling it. No shot on the cross this time. B stack from Bromo. Just a 2-2-1 here for Lynn Vision. Not in a rush to be going anywhere too fast. Just a little bit of pressure. Util pressure on the B site. Trying to draw out a reaction. Multiple progression Molotovs. Maybe trying to flush out these pistoling players. And this feels like a bit of a counter strat for Bromo. Just waiting out the majority of this util. But it doesn't really make too much of a difference. They've only lost one rifle. USP's not really doing very much here. And despite the rifle picked up by Spine, Fufu's going to clean things up. So 3-on-1 for Lynn Vision. Great start to Dust2 for them, especially after winning round number 2. And it feels like Ancient might have been the kick up their arse that they needed.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give some credit to Bromo. They're surviving against all that util, but didn't really get anything done with it.
It kind of looks like a set plan anti-eco from Lynn Vision that Bromo was just sitting there, you know, waiting for. You know, they were dodging the utility perfectly. That looked a little bit suspicious.
Exactly. Well, here's where, again, we have to kind of look back and say, well, Bromo, they didn't do too well. They sort of lost the anti-eco. That's not a great start, but if they're going to win this map and they're going to win this series, they're going to do it through gun rounds. So this will be a good indicator of whether or not it's going to be a possibility today. Has looked great for Lynn Vision, but in some cases that's been on anti-ecos, so...
Well, Lynn Vision working the map quite heavily. Rage has got the all-power. I have to be honest, Rage has been pretty mid in ECL online, but he had a pretty good game on Ancient, actually.
Yep.
Gonna need to continue that form here in the AWP on Orbital versus Zaka. Short going to be the point of contest between both teams. Anti-flash setup here from Fionn. Waiting for the contact to come in. There's the progression. Molotov from Fufu. Flash to follow. Fionn still isolated in front of all of that utility. He was anti-flash, but Fufu was quicker on the draw.
Another opener for Lynn Vision. And perhaps another entry toward the A side of the map, although Smoke's going to go down into CT. Rage has an angle to play with here, and if Westmelon were to creep around the corner, he might be in trouble. He's going to drop the progression smoke up short. Nice flash over the top, and it sets Fufu up on the line. Rage kind of just caught unawares. That'll be the A site taken for Lynn Vision, and probably Bromo to save.
Oh, Fufu's having a pretty good game so far, actually. kind of the weaker link on Lynn Vision. If he... Look, as far as I'm concerned, a Fufu and Flying are kind of the floor of Lynn Vision. So if those two start playing well, honestly, could be a bit transformative for Lynn Vision as a team. Emilia continues the hunt, already taking a gun away from one of these players on long. In towards spawn side. Lynn Vision have got so much money, there's no real reason for them to be too concerned about dropping guns here. Should just be trying to take every gun away from the CTs now. They know where Miami is. Flying, lying in wait for him on the off angle towards up dark. Miami doing a good job holding onto that rifle. You saw towards backyard there was almost a duel, but time is up. And 2 rifles kept over here for Bromo, which will allow them to bring another buy-in towards this next round. But not really the buy that you'd want to be seeing. There's no AWP. Util's a little bit scarce. So it's a good opportunity for Lynn Vision to keep front running in this game.
It's not as if Bromo have really been doing a whole lot to stop Lynn Vision from taking map control either. I get the feeling that Lynn Vision is going and doing whatever they want right now. Now, there's going to be a contest over long. This might get a bit interesting with Brashev over the top of the smoke, able to get that first one onto Emilia. Can't do more than that, but at least he's got Rage there to continue to trade down. Still, Lynn Vision kind of giving Bromo their money's worth as well. But a big push out on the B side of the map from Zai. With that MP9 in hand, he's able to get a lot of information here. And maybe a cheeky position as well if Lynn Vision opt to exit and go toward B.
Yeah. Everything being thrown by both teams towards B long there. It's a losable round for Bromo. One that they can't really afford at this point. Lynn Vision, however, so much money for them. Even if they were to just take one more gun with them at the end of this round, it'd probably be worth. So the stakes in a round like this for Bromo are a lot more. Scavenging mission here for Lynn Vision. Trying to pick up all of the grenades off of their fallen teammates. Smoke found for West Melon there. In fact, trying to cycle the smokes towards Elevator. Maybe trying to bait out some kind of a reaction or utility in exchange from the CTs, because it's not like they have any kind of lack of smokes at this point. Zaka getting spammed through the smoke. So they know exactly where he is. There's another smoke being expended towards short. This Molly gonna flush out spine.
Zaka might well be the difference maker here. Westmelon does drop, so indeed it has to come down to Zaka, but with 15 seconds and 25 HP, it seems a task a little bit too tall. He's going to be able to get spine, and the trade didn't come through from Bromo. You're kidding me. How has he gotten 2 there? Might still win the round. Zaka over the top. Didn't know where Zai was, but that was way too close for comfort, and it just shows the fear factor, I suppose, that Zaka has got on this map right now. Bromo, I can't believe they almost lost that.
Yeah, and it was expensive for them. Like I said, Lynn Vision, it wasn't a must-win round for them. Even damage is worth it, and damage is exactly what Zaka inflicted there. Bankrupting the economy of Bromo and reducing their loss bonus to 2.4 now puts them in a resettable position. Lynn Vision training utility on long once again, but not actually committing to that long hit this time. Flying has hit Zai with that HE nade every single time. Needs to be careful on the jiggle, and in fact, just that little bit of pressure going to force out whatever utility that Zai has access to on this B side, which is going to weaken things going forward. In fact, a lot of util being used in the early mid-round across the map for Bromo, upper dark, mid, and long. And as a result here at 1 minute 20, they've got 2 flashes to work with in this round. They're going to have to win some duels somewhere or hit a nice flash timing, or Lynn Vision is going to grind them down over time.
The irony is that was kind of the strong suit for Bromo in the first map, was winning those duels, but it seems to have flipped the script a little bit here on Dust2. Don't have a huge amount of faith, and if Lynn Vision just walk their way up short, that is going to be a real problem on the CT side.
They could just bully the CTs with utility here, which is exactly what they're doing, working the map, clearing things out. Bromo has to respect it, not too much that they can do, and again, it seems like this same util set to apply pressure to this A site. Bromo, though, they're reading this 40 seconds. Yeah, they're looking for information, and they're going to push all the way through bedroom. This is exactly the kind of play they need to make.
I wonder if Spine's going to be hearing anything in middle. Oh, he'll pick the pace up, and he spots at least 1. He's going to stick around for more. He gets 2. No, he's getting helped out by his teammates. Fjorn and Rage in there as well. Asher has to trade out for that AK, and again, able to find himself another kill. It's just flying, but the bomb's been dropped in 16 seconds. Again, similar circumstances to Zaka's clutch. It should be unwinnable. They're going to go hunting for him. Why? We've got 10 seconds left to survive. He nearly could have got it done. Oh, I'm so scared for Bromo right now, but they get through the round, and they do it this time at least with 2 guns instead of 1.
Yeah, but further reducing their loss bonus down to 1900. They're still resettable here. And with the start that Lynn Vision's had, they just need to get that right call across the line. But credit to Bromo. Like I said, that bedroom push was exactly the play they needed to make at that point in the round. At 1 minute 20, they were bankrupt for utility. 2 flashes to work with. Lynn Vision were working the map. And if you stay stagnant and just let the T's execute on you, unless you stack the right part of the map, you know, they're going to kind of grind you down with superior util and push and pull you around and just kind of exert their will on you. So I love the play in the mid-round there for Bromo, and it's 100% what wins them that round. But once again, staring down the barrel of a reset. Actually a reset for both teams, so credit to Bromo bringing themselves to this point after 2 nice gun rounds in a row. They now have the chance also to reset Lynn Vision, who are going to pick up the pace towards this B site. Aggression into lower dark from Zai, though.
They hear it.
Hear a lot of these footsteps. Spine right there with him.
Yeah. Amelia's jumped up on the box. Zai wants to play anti-flash. There's a bit of a contest there that Spine is going to win. B-site's still completely open, but Amelia's going to go walking down the stairs. He gets the better of Zai, which means Spine has to challenge now as well, and he'll fall too. Amelia might just have saved this round for Lynn Vision.
Yeah, that's beautiful pre-fire on the player at the lower dark box. He'd already taken a duel with that player, knew that he probably wanted to stick around and try to trade that kill off the back of that player on the off angle in lower dark. I think, you know, I can't remember if it was Zai or Spine, but that should have been a free kill for them, but the crosshair placement not quite on point. Brashev aggressing into middle as well, wanting to make a play here, expected by Westmelon. And Lynn Vision putting themselves further and further ahead, sticking together as a pack. Smoke to middle. They'll make their way towards long together. Miami, the only one on this A side, but even he's kind of trending towards this utility. Trying to keep these CT rotations honest for the time being. And Lynn Vision may be on the verge of a reset round. Bromo, they're quite happy to stack this B side. If Lynn Vision ends things on B, they've got a chance to win. If they don't, they'll just save the rifles.
Doesn't look like they got much of a chance to win. Lynn Vision are going 8. That is a round of millimeters, really. Westmelon surviving on 22 HP. Amelia, as you've said, probably should have gone down as well. So it wasn't as if the setup was necessarily bad from Bromo. It was just the execution. Plant right on time for flying.
Yeah, I think, look, the lower dark kill is pretty incredible from Amelia, but the player on the boxes off angle needed to lock that one down. The whole point of that setup is to bait for him, and if he can't convert that kill, then you're not winning rounds like that, unfortunately. I like the change up for Bromo. I honestly thought it was going to work for them. Like, I rate the call to, you know, get in there with a bit of aggression after a couple more standardized rounds, especially the way that CT side plays on Dust2 after the changes. You have a little bit more options. You know, CT side back in the day on Dust2, old Dust2 felt a bit autopilot, you know. About taking long or taking short, you just don't really have that many options or that many decisions to make. But these lower dark and cat aggressions are the kind of things that have been opened up by the Dust2 changes. And I like that Bromo threw a little bit of a curveball in there. Unfortunately, it didn't work. And now Lynn Vision are in a great position.
Yep. Yeah, going to be at least one more round here before Bromo can put anything more together. Really relying on Rage and Miami to get some kind of magic in this one. If you're Rage, maybe need to try and play aggressive somewhere on the map. He's going to try and take the fight on long. And he's going to lose it. So, it is what it is.
I mean,
good flash from
that's
Emilia.
All diff that I was expecting in this matchup, to be honest. And yeah, credit, like I said, to Rage. Had a good game on Ancient, but now that it's Dust2, in fact, there's 2 AWPs on the T side right now for Lynn Vision. Miami at Suicide, though, could be a difference maker. Lynn Vision really just playing this quite passively and expecting that aggression in the mid-round, though, and they're super on top of things. Like, they really understand the map control that they take and the pressure on the rotations that creates, especially in a round like this, Bromo need to do something a little bit aggressive, a little bit off timing, a little bit puggy to be able to make anything happen, and none of those plays have worked out for them. Lynn Vision was ready for everything, which is, like I said, what they should have really been ready for heading into Ancient. It just didn't really feel like they were switched on enough, that they had a good enough read or good enough timings. I'm not quite sure what it was. Here on Dust2, though, they are ready for a little bit, a few more of these kind of misc pushes that Bromo are throwing at them, and they're looking a little bit more switched on as well.
Last chance saloon, really, for Bromo. Gonna have to win this round and every round to make this first half look somewhat positive, I guess.
I mean, again, CT util's terrible. They don't have an AWP in this round. Zaka's looking for a pick onto this big site.
He might get it
Miami,
as well.
yeah, I'm not looking like it. He sees,
No.
yeah, that's an easy pick. And that's the B site going to be folded. See the panic rotation from Bromo. It's just one kill, but even with that one kill, they've used the rest of their util flashing up over B, expecting for Lynn Vision to go on that pick. But as we can see, Lynn Vision are just running a default. That was just Zaka looking for a pick. And Bromo, look, they looked indomitable on Ancient. But this is what I said in the pre-show, Jordan. This is the duality of Bromo. They look incredible, and they look absolutely lost.
Lynn Vision going to slow it down once again. Look towards short as their avenue of attack. Bromo have managed to cross back to the site at the very least, and they're going to be doubled up. So maybe a world where the first player get a kill or two, the second player pops up, gets a cheeky single kill. Or maybe they're just going to be pushed out of position by the Molotov. Surely would have been heard by Westmelon, hearing those feet getting singed, and Lynn Vision have been able to creep all the way forward, but they don't know about Spine! And that's what I'm talking about. It just wasn't quite clean enough, though. Needed to get 2 clean kills and then have a third from that second player swinging through, and it might have been on for Bromo, but good coverage from Lynn Vision. They get their 7th, and Bromo once again are scraping the bottom of the barrel as far as the money's concerned. They're going to have to take another half buy and try to buy into the last round of the half.
Yeah. Broco, unfortunately. It's pistols, yeah. Bit of a long stack. Maybe HE nades into the long doors. Quad nade hits Amelia for a grand total of 18 damage. And man, knowing that there's 4 CTs on long, is just going to drop a molly and a smoke and say, nope, I want absolutely nothing to do with that. And communicated across to the rest of Lynn Vision are looking to cut the map in half. They know that there's 4 CTs on the A side of the map. So this is exactly what they're going to do. Camp the long doors and cut the map in half. Flying, seeing the last player, 4 nade stack on long and the last player on B, and Lynn Vision, they have all of the cards and they're playing their hand perfectly.
Well, I don't know that this 5-7 is going to get a whole lot done. No, neither one. Could be setting up for another 8-4 half. And Vision wasn't able to come back from the 8-4 on Ancient. Bromo, at this rate, don't look like they'd come back from an 8-4 either. It's better than nothing, I suppose. Again, it has to be said that both teams kind of looked a little bit today on their T side, so maybe some element of that involved as well.
Pops out for Rage again. Zaka not legging on anyone on the cross this time. That is a key tool. Rage finally getting the best of Zaka and feeling himself a little too much. Aggression punished. As soon as they have the man advantage, they've overcooked it a little bit. Straight up short goes Lynn Vision, but there's already CTs in position to defend from the side box. Brashov in combination with that smoke going to swap that aggression away. Lynn Vision now going to have to slow things down and explore their other options, but in the 4-on-4, with this much pressure in the middle of the map, with long control and a huge util advantage, they are still in a pretty good position to win this one.
Bromo going to have to go hunting. It's going to be up to Brashov to do it. Spine and Brashov have been quite mobile on the A side. They've gone between long and A and long and A, and now they're going to walk right into Amelia. It doesn't look like that's even going to be checked at this rate. That's really bad news. Amelia, all he has to do is sit behind the blue bin right here and do nothing, and Spine's going to have to try to push to clear him out, but in all that meanwhile, the A site is being taken. Amelia might just win this duel himself. It's an awkward angle for Spine, having to fall off of the boxes. And he will lose it to Amelia, and that's the round over, and probably the map as well. I mean, a 9-3 deficit. I don't see Bromo coming back from that one.
Well, it's all on Miami. One for the scorers, one for the stat pad. Maybe here's the drop down on towards site. It peaked from short. Flying's going to finish it off. Dominant resurgence from Lynn Vision in the second map after a bit of a lackluster Ancient.
Welcome back into the second half here for map 2 between Lynn Vision and Bromo. Things are not quite going to plan for Bromo. Map 1 was a solid win for them, but map 2 has left a lot to be desired. Now it's onto their T side to try and save it, and it does not look like that's going to happen. A Fufu with a nice double, Amelia with 1. It's been a much better performance from Lynn Vision here on Dust2, and that is what we expected, but it still comes as a little bit of a disappointment to Bromo.
Yeah, bomb dropped. Winnable 1 on 3 from Brashif. I mean, he's been put in a terrible position, courtesy of a perfect setup on long from Lynn Vision. Great flashes from Zaka. Little crossfire between long corner and pit. Completely dismantles that long hit from Bromo. USP picked up as well as a smoke. He's got armor to work with. So on some of these longer ranges, there could be something here for Brashif. But first to deal with is, of course, Stacker inside of the pit. That Mance is armorless. But as soon as Brasher makes it a little bit deeper up on long, he's going to get swung by both of those players. It's not even needed as the smoke finally blooms. Zach is going to take his head off. 10-3, no bomb plant for Bromo. Things just going from bad to worse.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think just get it over and done with and look toward map 3, which, unfortunately for Bromo, isn't really a positive story going to Anubis. Has always been a map that Lynn Vision have had in the back pocket, and in a lot of cases it was their priority map. Previous iterations of this roster. But obviously, Bromo don't have much say in the matter as to how things are going to play out right now. They don't have an investment, really, apart from the Deagle in the hands of Miami, and that's now been cited by Lynn Vision. Unlikely it should be getting too much done here. Maybe the one pick, but even that is a stretch too far. Bromo get their buy through, but it might be the only buy that they get in this half.
Then you can see Lynn Vision are just brimming with confidence. They're running them down, aggressing on multiple parts of the map. Everyone's playing pretty well across the board, including a Fufu, who's having a great game. Let's see what Bromo have got for us, though. It's a bit of a road back into this game. Rage putting on his Zaka impression, buying up the Scout into a gun round here after buying the Deagle. No spam from him on the cross. Long control taken by Lynn Vision. Aggression in the middle of the map here from Westmelon. Can hear all of the footsteps coming out from Fjord. Push off the line by the Scout of Rage. Gonna flash to try to keep the T's at arm's length for now, as the flash from the T side goes over the top of Lower Dark, and they take control of middle and cap.
I mean, a lot of information there for Amelia already. It's looking like a much more stable CT side than what we were seeing in the first half. Good shot from Fjorn, but Zach is there for the trade. He's going to creep his way up the boxes and get in close behind that smoke. Don't mind that with the MP9. Westmelon spots out one in middle. Still a way that Bromo could get through this round, but now that Zach is set up and we've got Amelia behind him, it starts to become a little flash in as the smoke fades. It should have been perfect, and it was good enough, is the answer. It didn't work out for Zach, but Amelia is having a pretty damn good map right here. 14-5. Turning around his efforts from Ancient.
Winnable 2-on-3 for Bromo, though. Smoke going deep into short and up onto the site. Going to give them enough space to be able to get the plant down. But a two-man push through long, I don't think that's going to be expected. Kits in the hand of flying as well. So they can kind of take their time working their way back into things here. Westmelon just biding his time in CT spawn, making sure no one drops down there. Zybe refreshing the short smoke. They have to be concerned about the short flank, but Lynn Vision have foregone that. MP9 thrown over to Amelia. Flash up over the top. He's going to push Rage off the line. He's under a lot of pressure now. Probably has to be Zybe to get the majority of the work done. He's good for one, but traded immediately by Westmelon. And great spacing from Amelia. Kit's dropped on long. They have no time. Flying was the one with the kit. He went down and it wasn't recovered. Bromo have done just enough to win that round on the T side. Through a little bit of good fortune, I might add, but I mean, it doesn't fill you with a whole lot of confidence they're going to make some kind of a comeback here on T side.
No, that was exactly what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, is that the kind of round that makes you think, yeah, they've got it together on this T side? Well, I'd probably echo your sentiment in that it's not. And the money for Bromo is still leaving a little bit to be desired as well. We've got 3 Galils and a couple of AKs. Not a whole lot of util as well to be spread around on that T side. Lynn Vision still looking better for it.
Trying to go for some kind of B play here. Flying up close. Zaka at plat with the AWP. If the util coverage is not good here, they're going to lose picks on the way into the site, and could be a multi-frag up close from the MP9, but Flying's a little out of position here.
Zaka. He's going to line a bunch up. There's collateral damage onto Brashev, and this is like shooting fish in a barrel. You don't want to be stuck in this position. It's just too easy for the AWPer. He's missed a couple of shots, to be fair, but you haven't made any progress right now as Bromo. They just couldn't move. That wasn't a very good round.
I mean, those are the kind of rounds that make you scratch your head. Watching Bromo sometimes, like, You see that in an MM game where it's just like, oh, there's an all-prom player. I guess we lose, you know?
Yep.
There's just no plan after that point. Not able to clear a lot of those closer positions. So it's a Hail Mary force buy down to the Tech 9s here for Bromo. They've gotten absolutely slapped here on Dust2, which I think was probably the expectation, really. Straight down into lower dark. Thrasher trying to pick the pace up. They've lost Spine at top middle, but traded well by Fjorn. The problem is there's two players on this B site, and a molly in upper dark keeping the T's back is going to be fantastic for flying. That's a hell of a sharp shot on the A1S. Flash to follow, and Bromo just cannot get into B.
Nope. Not allowed entry, or maybe not allowed exit from the tunnels, because that's a very straightforward hold again for Lynn Vision, and a pretty straightforward map as well. 13-4 is their victory, and that is going to force us through to map 3, Anubis. Bromo, I think, will be a little bit disappointed with that one. They really didn't show up at all on Dust2, and it could have been so much more, you know.
Could have been, but it wasn't.
Position of champion of ESL Challenger League Season 48, although they would have already qualified for ESL Pro League Season 21 at that point. So bit of a distance to run here for Lynn Vision if they're to make that lower bracket run. But it starts right now, and it's going to be on to Anubis to try to close this series out against Bromo. And we'll see whether or not Lynn Vision can do it cleanly, or if there's going to be another twin, another turn in here. For me, I would be quite excited to see Bromo get up to some shenanigans, but this is already looking like a pretty good start for Lynn Vision. Straight in through middle with a Fufu, hoping to grab just the one kill here. And maybe more would be a bonus, which he gets, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's crushing for Bromo. I mean, aggression over on that B side of the map, and someone's whiffed their whole clip is not a promising start. It's going to be a little bit tilting. Does seem like the nerves are starting to set in after what was an absolute thrashing on Dust2. And Lynn Vision just continuing that same momentum. A flawless pistol. Up 1-0 already on the T side of Anubis. I think Bromo are feeling pretty shook at this point.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine so. That was a belter of a pistol round from Lynn Vision, and it keeps that hype train rolling from Dust2. It's going to be a force buy for Bromo, though. So they don't want to let control of this map slip early on in the piece, and I haven't really been seeing this kind of a buy from Bromo all that much. We do tend to see them just sort of wait it out a little bit more.
Yeah, which, is out of character. Definitely feel like Bromo most of the time backs themselves with the rifle buy in round 3, because they have some sharp riflers. So, look, the force, it might be a little out of character with the pressure getting to them, or they might be trying to throw Lynn Vision off a little bit. See what ends up happening though. Flying spots out the 5-7, so especially with the util that's being thrown by the CT side, Lynn Vision can start to deduce it. This is a little bit of a force from the CT, and kind of adjust their plans accordingly. Pressure on E-Box. Head-to-head duel, MAC-10 versus MP9. Backed up by Spine with the 5-7.
Well, I don't know if that's
Speaking of
fair.
backup,
yeah.
Rifles just posted up from downtown. Not much you can really do peeking into that.
Yeah, that's going to be the B site for Lynn Vision. Going to cross their T's and dot their I's by tossing out their remaining util. Smoke for CT, Molly for Plat. There's nobody there, as we can see, but not information that was so readily available to Lynn Vision. Doesn't look like Bromo want to get too over-aggressive with their remaining guns. I mean, if they do save these, they can potentially put them to good use next round. Going to be taking a save there anyway, so might as well have a Deagle, MP9, and Scout to play with. But it's looking pretty methodical thus far from Lynn Vision, which is, again, exactly what you'd want to be seeing. This is supposed to be a very good map for them.
The Flying's on the hunt with the MAC-10. Trying to take these last couple of force guns away from the CTs. Going all the way through the beach. Having a look around. This is actually me earlier today, believe it or not. Got back from my vacation. Hopped on my PC. 10 minutes later, I was on camera. So I'm feeling rested and relaxed. Ready for some Asia CS. And much like me on my vacation, not much to do there for flying. Guns will be saved over for Bromo. And we'll see what damage that they can get done in round number 3 here. But it's a great start for Lynn Vision. Pistol 1, multiple bomb plants, and not a single gun lost yet.
Not a single life lost yet. pretty slim pickings for Bromo so far on Anubis. It might continue to be. Got a 3-stack on A long. But Amelia just set up waiting for that one. A bit more of a default setup here from Lynn Vision, waiting to see if they're going to get any aggression out from Bromo. But short of that hefty stack on A, doesn't look like there's going to be too much moving and shaking being done by the CTs.
Lynn Vision not in a rush to do anything, really. Spread around the map. Pressure on the middle of the map with the U-tilt. Flash into A-long, but try to bait out a reaction. Those molly ticks will be heard by Amelia. Can kind of feel that it's a close, long setup. HE inside of the smoke and goes forward, taking Zai out very easily there. And all of this pressure on the A side of the map is just that. It's just Amelia by himself selling a little bit of a fake, but the CTs have still stacked B here.
It's not a bad call from Bromo. Yeah, flash into B main. Would have been nice to have a little extra smoke available here for Bromo, but again, maybe it's going to be enough. There's damage being done though by Zaka. He's been able to crack open 3 players, and that'll be enough, I imagine, for Lynn Vision to get through this one reasonably comfortably. Bromo at least get their first couple of kills on the board, but 3-0 lead for Lynn Vision. It's the start that you'd want on map 3.
For sure. So many of the rifles being retained heading into the first gun round, losing very little Mac 10. Did they even lose another gun? They might have lost a Mac 10 and a Glil. And that was it. Yeah, 3 AKs being retained, so very little loss so far in this game for Lynn Vision. First gun round comes out here. Rage on the glass cannon all. Pretty good util across the board, no kits for CTs. Util exchange here, Westmelon trying to go for the timing. Straight through the Molotovs thrown earlier by his team, shooting flying in the side of the head there. As he comes through towards bridge side, but Lynn Vision have taken space in the middle of the map and also space in A main. So not much information here for Bromo. Just have control of B and E box. And it seems like they're looking to re-aggress and re-clear mid here perhaps, or just play a bit of a bait setup with Miami playing on the headshot angle.
Going to try and push their way down middle, Bromo. Guess they need to get some information somewhere. I made a footstep though. So Westmelon are flying honed in. They're locked in.
Yeah. I think that footstep might have saved them, to be honest. If they walk into that crossfire, it's probably curtains.
Yeah. Miami though, spotted out in cams, and the grenade will give them a little bit of a tickle.
Smoke dropped with 40 seconds. That's going to deny access to middle. Unless they want to leave it down to the last 20. Looks like Amelia's going to throw a little bit of a fake with Zaka's utility and try to pull the rotations across to this A site. And the rest of Lynn Vision going to go into B with the last 20 seconds onto the clock here. Amelia really doesn't matter what he gets done here. The longer he stays alive, the better. He's going to take a few with him if possible. Double entry onto A. Meanwhile, over on the B side of the map, Bromo still holding for now, but enough trades coming through. 8 seconds on the clock, and Afufu will win the round. Taking out Spine. Got very close there. But Bromo still couldn't put together at the end of the day. I felt like they kind of lost both sides at once there. Amelia double entry A. And Lynn Vision still broke through on B as well. Which, you know, you can't really do much at the end of the day if you can't hold either of the sides simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean, that was about as good as it could have gone for Lynn Vision. Got maybe a little bit close for comfort at the end. Zaka looking sharp though, 7-1 so far. A couple of good shots with the AWP in the last round. A decent one there as well onto Rage to start things off here for round number 5. This is going quite swimmingly indeed for Lynn Vision.
Up by with MP9s. That's the attempt here for Bromo, but nothing about this game for Anubis really fills you with any confidence for them. They're just getting picked apart. They're getting punished for all the aggression that was going so well on Ancient. And that's Lynn Vision waking up, adapting. It's what they should have done right from the get-go. I'm surprised they even conceded one map, to be honest. Because it was really a case of Lynn Vision underperforming and Bromo getting away with the kind of shenanigans that Lynn Vision is not letting them get away with in these next two maps.
Easy walk into the A site for Lynn Vision, the exception obviously being Zai, but he's not able to get too much done being watched by Flying. And so Lynn Vision gonna take a commanding lead to start for Anubis. What is going on here?
I don't know, man. It's one of those games, isn't it?
Just getting frustrated.
Yeah. I mean,
This is where, if you're Westmelon, are you not just spamming that body right there?
Nah. There's no reason to. You're above that. You know?
Oh, yeah, I see.
You're smashing them.
You're taking the high and mighty approach.
Yeah. Bromo should be the one spamming bodies, you know. They need to get in, Lynn Vision's head, you know. Which you can see Brashef is trying to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work when you're getting absolutely dominated. If anything, you're trying to reverse psychology yourself a bit, I think. Attack timeout comes out for Bromo here. They finally got a pretty decent fight together. Brashef can get himself a kit. I'd love for him to do so. No one else has got one, and if he doesn't buy one and then they can't defuse, well, Pepper Ridge Farm will remember. Ridge has got the orb belt. And honestly, since Ancient has not really done a whole lot with it, Zaka has had their nutty hard. Kit's there for Miami, but that's it. Another slow round for Lynn Vision, and Zaka's found an opener.
Might as well just clip that as a soundbite. Just play it every round.
Breaking the economy of Marzalai. Zaka's found an opener. Got a whole soundboard.
Mm-hmm.
Flying is the GOAT.
I don't know if that's going on the soundboard. Nah. But that's a nice little setup from Westmelon and Afufu to catch Fjorn. Looks like we're headed towards a 6-0.
Pretty good last map as well.
Mm-hmm.
If he has a good land here, that would be great for Lynn Vision heading into the RMR.
Certainly.
So I gotta be honest, man, it's not filling me with a lot of confidence dropping like an 0.8, like a 0.8 rating over 3 months. Especially when some of that's against Asian competition. Like, where's the stat padding, my man? That aside, though, A Execute's coming in here for Lynn Vision. There's 3 players here for Bromo, but they're getting kind of pulled and pushed by the utility, forced off the line by the flashes. Zai unchecked close, though. Spine swinging off his contact. A site denied for Bromo, but that's where they go back to their contingency, Lynn Vision. Westman's taking the middle of the map, and the bomb's making its way back to B.
Yeah, I think Westmelon might have heard Spine here as well. Certainly seems like he's got an idea. Someone was rotating through CT spawn, but has to be aware of the cams push as well. Zaka catches Spine. Westmelon gets Zai, and the round is still going to be that for Lynn Vision. 6-0. Again, kind of teetering on a precipice at one point, but Lynn Vision have enough confidence to close it out, even just as a duo.
Yeah, Zaka and Westmelon combining for all 5 there. It's a really nice site hold, but like I said, Westmelon on the lurk, especially when you have your IGL lurking, it's really, really easy to make that mid-round call and just call the audible back towards the other side. Like, lurking from the wing position, there's not that second layer of communication. Like, depends on what kind of system you have, obviously, but especially as the IGL, you know, you can just say, man, they're stacked up on A, come back B, and take it from there. More vocal players on the wing can really make the difference in the mid like that.
Three players towards B this time for Bromo. Not a whole lot of agency for them. Just got Brashef inside of E-box having a bit of a look. He peeks. Zaka's waiting for him. Molotov's going to come through, force him out of that position, and Vision slowly but surely taking that map control away from Bromo. It looks like they want it back.
It's just weaker weapons here for Bromo, though. And Lynn Vision quite happy to hold the majority of the map. They've been punishing the aggression in the early to mid round, which is why Bromo's been a little bit more patient this time around. Still a two-man setup inside of E-Box though, but just the toes spotted out is all that Zaka needs to punish you. Spine to take that next contact. He's going to cop a shot through the wall, and that's going to be an easy follow-up for Flying. Westmelon's found a pick over in the middle of the map. And with 2 players left on this B site for Bromo, you thought that they were going to be able to get something, but they're getting shot in the side by a Fufu who's on that B lurk. Every single player for Lynn Vision delivering 7-0. And it's looking like Bromo is going out at the tournament if they don't turn this around right now.
That's kind of what we were saying about Dust2. They need to turn this around in the first half, get something done. It never really eventuated, and the feeling that I'm getting is that it's never going to eventuate here on map 3 either. Yes, Bromo might get around here and there, but Lynn Vision are looking a cut above. You expect that they're going to have the adaptations required to close this half out with a really, really stable scoreline. Maybe 9 or 10 rounds on that T side. Things are going maybe in 13-0 territory shortly.
A lot of pressure on the middle of the map early on here, causing a bit of rotation from Bromo. Miami's floating around in small side there. But Lynn Vision, after that initial early pressure, just going back into their default and holding around the map, anticipating aggression from Bromo because it is kind of their typecast, I guess. A main taken by Amelia once again. The util pressure trying to bait out a reaction, but this is where Bromo, they're being a fair bit more patient now. They know that none of these early to mid-round timings are going to work for them. Here is the B execute being prepped by Zaka, but you can still see Lynn Vision quite heavily set up around the map. They're not in a rush to execute the B site all at once. They're still kind of feeling things out here. Just trading down utility, waiting for the right timing.
First kill on the board for Bromo in this round, and that's, I think, the first time that they've actually had player advantage. At least at the start of a round.
Laying in wait at Ninja, but checked by Westmelon, and that's the 2K that's going to break it open here.
Disappointing for Bromo. One plant goes down, and they're thinking about it. They're thinking about retaking, but if they don't get, I was going to say, if they don't get a kill, they won't do it. They have now gotten that kill onto Amelia, and suddenly they start to think a bit harder about it. Zaka's going to be forced off of his line by that Molotov. Now Smoke's going over the top. Westmelon might actually have to be the one to deny this defuse. Though a Fufu, I imagine, will walk through the smoke on the contact and make short work of Rage, then grab Miami as well. That's a very nicely executed post plant for Lynn Vision, 8-0. And they maintain the 100% streak so far on Anubis.
Another tactical timeout for Bromo. They just cannot figure out what to do, no matter what timing they take, no matter how they approach the round. They are getting picked apart time and time again by Lynn Vision, who are in control right from start to finish. Slow default, util pressure across the map, waiting until the mid to late round where they go for these executes, but not all in on one plan ever. You know, they're always trading down util. They always have a lurk in play. They always have a contingency. Even when they're halfway into an A-side execute, they can still pivot back to Westmelon in mid in the 2-on-2, or you've still got a Fufu on the wing, you know. They're just playing an excellent game right now, Lynn Vision, and I think part of that is down to what we were talking about on the desk before, just saying this is a map that's, you know, they've had international upsets on in the past. It's a very comfortable map for the majority of this court. And they're showing it right now. Bromo back down on the half buy. Brashev's going to force buy an M4A1S to try to make something happen because nothing seems to be going right for Bromo.
Another open up. This time in the hands of Amelia, and Flying looks like he's going to get another one. I mean, Bromo just can't hold on to any part of the map at the moment. Flying looking clean on that shot onto Miami as well. And that's a nice round from him, but honestly, the thing is, it's like, well, it's not even that exciting because it's really just happening all over the place now.
Yeah. It's good to see both Flying and Fufu playing really well, though. But yeah, it's not a particular. I mean, it can't be an exciting game. 9-0. You know, this is just domination. The highest skilled player on Bromo is 4 kills in 9 rounds. Like, that is abysmal. Literally no one on Bromo has turned up to this game at all. HE onto Zaka. Does a fair bit of damage. Probably the best thing to happen for Bromo in a number of rounds.
I'm gonna stop flying from having a bit of a crack. Messy spray.
Just a bit switched off at this point. You're like, oh man, he actually shot back at me.
Yeah.
So I thought I would get him with the 22 bullet spray, but apparently not. It's still pressure in the middle of the map here. Aggression into B long for Bromo. Even if they... Oh man, that's the entry from Amelia. I was going to say, even if they win this round, you kind of feel like it's a case of Lynn Vision getting a little bit lackadaisical, if anything. Westmelon Punish walking through the smoke. Rage still alive at Heaven here. Not much utility to really stop him from getting his AWP on. The flashes are not hitting him. So he's still posted up on the line here. Avoids another flash nicely. Posted over from Cams as the rotations come in. Fion's been isolated on the site by an HE. And Lynn Vision's having a think about going back, using the progression smoke to mask their intentions.
Right now, it's only Spine on 10 HP on the B-bomb site. Wiley's got a bit of information outside of B main there, and not a bad position either. He's going to need some help, and Bromo are making the call to go B early. Not sure that Lynn Vision are going to be anticipating that. It will be a 3-on-3. Well, Miami actually taking a little while to get across, and Rage just gets dominated by Zaka. Tech 9, AWP, it doesn't matter. He can do it all. Bomb plant is going to be a bit of a problem here, but it's attempted now again by Zaka in some relative safety. Cancelled by Miami in the end. And finally, Bromo have got themselves around. Like you say, though, it feels a little bit more like Lynn Vision beating themselves there.
Yeah. Pretty weird spray from flying to start the round off. Westmelon gets caught walking through a smoke, and then we're running it down to the last 15 seconds to execute B. Like, bit of a troll round. But it's something for Bromo. Yeah, once again, mollies to B as well as 2 mollies into middle. Westmelon's trying to center through the middle of the map here in combination with the flash from flying. And Lynn Vision with a lot of pressure in the middle of the map. Rotations come in from Bromo, both Miami and Rage wanting to fight that. Well, maybe not. I'm going to concede it and go back towards A main. Zai holding on to that with the utility, trading util down with Amelia. Another opening pick for Bromo.
Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be converted into the round. I wouldn't get too far ahead of myself just yet.
Fair bit of util pressure on the map though. A main and cams. So Bromo without a whole lot of information about what's happening. That's why they're going and re-clearing it. Sides pushing through A main with Rage. Probably just going to play that close contact setup, yeah. Oh, actually, Zai goes forward and takes the duel. So they're really getting active despite the man advantage situation that they're in, and that's where a Fufu can punish them unless Rage hits that shot in the middle of the map, only going 1-for-1 with the bomb dropped outside A. These are some pretty weird rounds from Lynn Vision.
Flying's just going to have to W key if he wants to win this round now. He does indeed W key straight into the AWP. 9-2. Bromo putting together a couple of rounds, but again, is it even going to be remotely enough when you can only get to 3?
We'll see. We've seen 3 9s come back on the T side, to be honest, on Anubis before. 10-2 sometimes feels like a little bit too much though, but 9-3 is doable. 9-3 in a pistol, things start to get a lot closer. Double AWP for the CT side this time. And it looks like Lynn Vision want to pick up the pace towards B this time a little bit quicker. Throwing those progression smokes, they want to use that to kick off and execute.
Spine trying to look over the smoke. He might have just caught a whiff of Westmelon, but the flash is good. Forces him off of the totem pole. Push in from flying, and a Fufu is going to be quite successful. And Lynn Vision will break open the B bomb site. This time, working together. Going back to the tried and true. And it's more than enough to deal with Bromo's hold.
Plant goes down for Lynn Vision. Untenable 2-on-5. They have to go for it at the end of the half. Rage gets absolutely nothing done. Zai 1-on-5. And he's just going to get one tap by flying. Lynn Vision looking super switched on. 10-2 T side on Anubis continues the domination from Dust2.
Not really much to say about that first half for Bromo. A couple of rounds that they got, one of them really felt like it was Lynn Vision letting that round slip more so than Bromo winning it, and two's not really too much to get too hyped up about. So we'll see what they can do here on the T side, but it feels like we're following in the footsteps of Dust2.
Yeah. 5 sets of armor on the T side, so gonna go and try and shoot some heads, throw some decoy grenades around the map, and maybe getting themselves for a bit of a B split. Gonna probably be the drop down from bridge here, pushing flying off of the line, and actually pushing through the middle of the map to apply some pressure before, or maybe they're just gonna wrap through spawn. Yeah, they're gonna actually wrap through spawn, so into the high-low between Westmelon and Flying here does not go well at all. Flying doubles up from the top of the stairs. A Fufu ready for these last two players. Backs it up box, but this is where Westmelon just continues to do damage with the dualies. Almost cleans up the rest of Bromo. Amelia sure to do it with the dualies and Arbor just chasing down Miami with minimal HP. 11-2. No bomb plant for Bromo is crushing.
Yeah, I mean, if one thing, or if nothing else, Flying has been very, very good on the pistols. We've been a little bit critical of him so far today, and that we maybe want to see a little bit more out of him in the positions that he's in, but his pistol work has been phenomenal. It's another really good pistol from him. I mean, yeah, it's only a 2k, but he gets all the information in mid, backs up once, backs up again, saves his life, and inevitably sets up in a nice crossfire. That works out very well for the 2k, and Lynn Vision win the pistol as a result. So, good decision making, and nice shots being hit as well. 11-2 the lead, and Bromo already having lost a player in this round doesn't look like it's going to lead into a particularly positive situation.
Yeah, early utility from Lynn Vision towards the stairs, take control of water, dive down through E-box, aggression in A main, gets Amelia that first round, and he's sticking around. Bromo walking through rugs. Know he was aggressive in this part of the map. But can they deal with him? Zai not checking it well enough. The Scout's not a great weapon to be trading. No one can deal with Amelia under rugs right now. Miami with the best gun for the job, but the entire team's dead by the time he makes it there, and Fufu's going to trade him easily. 12-2 for Lynn Vision, sending a message after conceding Ancient that they're not a team to be trifled with here. They want that Pro League spot, and they want to get some good form and momentum heading into the Asia RMR, and I think these last two maps are definitely doing that. This might be, what, 13-4, and then the 13 very low single digits again. Very, very dominant reverse sweep.
Yeah, although in saying that, like, this is not the match that we're really going to be looking at as a massive barometer for Lynn Vision of the 4 teams at the ESL Challenge League Season 48 Finals. This would be the weakest of teams, and Amelia, I don't know if he gets away with 2 against a team like Atox or Tyloo there, and that'll be a conversation for tomorrow, but Vision look like they're almost definitely going to be making it to tomorrow now. 13-2, very much on the cards, as Rage has been seen, heard, I don't know. They have a pretty good idea of where he is. And that'll be that. 13-2 is the victory for Lynn Vision, and it is a comfortable one on maps 2 and 3. Yes, they looked a little bit awkward, let's say. Slow to start on Ancient, but they got the series done, and ultimately that's really all you can ask for. But going forward, the job gets a bit more difficult for Lynn Vision.
Yeah, that's true. I felt like they played pretty poorly on Ancient.